What we have here is a Sharp model number LC-CUG8461. The problem with it is more than likely backlights, because when I initially switched this on, I got a flicker light, an image came up briefly, but since then I have not got an image. Either by taking it, putting it in standby, taking it out of standby, unplugging it, plugging it back in, I've not been able to get an image back on it. The problem with these is that the LEDs that are on the strips inside are very hard to replace individually, to remove them and replace the LEDs. There's about 72 LEDs in it, and I could replace the one I seen faulty or any that are flickering, and away it would go. It'll work for a while, but I found with these they will come back after a couple of weeks, month, back under warranty. So the chances of me getting this done under warranty are slim. I'm not going to put any warranty on this. I am just doing this on as an instruction video, more so on how to get in at the LEDs and show you what you have to do, and leave it up to you to decide whether you want to go ahead with this type of work. This came into me as a BER, Beyond Economic Repair, and there's a reason why they'd be refused to be repaired, because they are time consuming, and workshops would not be able to make any money out of doing this type of work. But for now, let's just get this down on its face, and let's start taking it apart. First thing I'm going to remove is this button cover here on the TV. I'm going to have to get some kind of a mat. Bear in mind, I'm looking at this now, the top ones along here are shorter than the bottom. They're self-tappers. Looks like 4 on the top. And 4 on the bottom. I think there's a 3, no, it's 4. Okay. 4 large ones and 4 small ones. Right. And of course then we have these edge plates here. These end covers. And these are the small ones. Small self-tappers, I should say. Okay. Drop the screw. Sorry for that. There's 5 screws holding it. And these have a taper head on them, and they're not self-tappers either. 4. And there should be another one here, 5. Okay. They are hooked in, so you can get them out. They are difficult to get out. Can't pull up here because the aerial socket is in the way, and there is a clip in here. Let's see, can I persuade it? Okay, it's been looked at before. Speaker socket, another speaker, and then we've got to get rid of our control over here, and then what we have to do then is disconnect our main power and get out, and that's all out of the way. Some are safe. Now, next thing we're going to take off is these upright for the stands. Two screws in each of them. And I will just leave them up there, up out of the way. Stay out of the way. Now, we got these speakers. Take them out, keep them safe, and it's marked up right and left. I should look at it from the back. Just remember that as we're putting it back in. Okay. Right. Now, I suppose we have to take this plastic here off, and let's get rid of these off here. Yes, someone's been in here. Okay, what have we got here? Two. 3, 4. 4 then. Trying in the bottom. Yes, there's some on the bottom as well. Shorter at the bottom than the top. So remember that when you're putting them back in. That's provided these will put back in correctly in the beginning, because this has been opened before. disconnect the control wire, or the remote receiver, and the standby light. Okay. Right, the ones up top are the small, or the ones at the bottom are the small, and ones up top are the large. I'm going to get this off now. And let's have a look. These are large at the top. Short at the bottom. No, they actually short on the top and the bottom. So I'm going to put these back in here just to remind me. I'm going to remove this one over here. You probably didn't see the last one. Looks like a shorty. Another short. And another short. There's a bit of a plastic there, and it slides underneath the rim. It slides underneath. Right. Actually, that's a large one up top and a short, so there's a little bit of a difference there in each side there. So I'm just going to put these back in place, because it could be next week before I get at this. Is late in the evening now at the moment. Okay, leave that off. Okay. Now that we have them off, now we're going to start taking off this rim. There's a whole rim there that goes around the whole lot of it. Let's see, can you see that? I'm starting over here this corner just out of shot. And these are the really thin ones. Or the really short ones. One missing. As TVs go, these are pretty extreme to take apart. When our CRTs are out, 4 screws at the back, normally back was off and you're in there straight away working. Not so anymore. There's more work in taking it apart now than there is actually doing the repair, and it's very fragile work. You could end up cracking this screen, so don't take on this work lightly. It's the top rim. Do the side one here now. That's the 3 rims on. Okay. I'm going to disconnect my LVDS cable. There's a clip here, you just put your fingers underneath and out it comes. And that's that out. Now, put my screws somewhere safe that they're not going to fall. There's 3 little bits of angled steel here to get a grip of the bezel. I'm going to put these screws back in so I know which ones go in there, because this is very close to the screen. I'm afraid I put the wrong one in and it'll crack the screen if it goes in too far. That's what it looked like. Okay. I'm going to pause this while I turn it over. There is clips here at the bottom. They will come out no problem here in the middle, but at the corners there you'll find you get a bit of a little bit of resistance for them to come out. Okay. Clips here. Pull them out. Don't be tempted to pull it too far because these break very easy. Like all plastics, they can break. Okay, that's that off. Right. Just got to pause that when I get that in a better position. Next job I have to do is try and unclip the PCBs for the screen. There's a rubber clip at the bottom here. You're not going to be able to see it because I can't get an angle on that. Sometimes these will be stuck, so be very careful. And it is stuck already now. Okay, right. What you do then is you normally tape them up so you don't have any problem with them catching and ripping the ribbon cable itself. We've got ribbon cables. Right, I need a pair of gloves. Next thing we have to do is get rid of this, there's a black frame that goes around the screen assembly itself, and we get these diffusers out. There's 2 screws I can see, there might be more, and they're very short. Okay. Likewise, there's clips on these as well. And also on the bottom here, there is some tape. Take off these gloves now, there's no need for them. I can't feel anything with them. Okay. Okay. Okay, small screwdriver, double clip. Without breaking the clips, if possible. It does look like there should be more screws at the bottom of this, but I wouldn't tempt to put any other screws in it because I don't have short screws like that anywhere in stock. That's out of the way. And I'm going to put these 2 short screws in there just to remind me that short screws go in the bottom here. Whether someone left them all out with the other one, I don't know. And it's more the same. Clips, clips and more clips. See if we can get the back one off without on the far side. Okay. We're nearly in there now at the source of the lights. Let's just get these out. Remember, we have little sponges here, and they correspond with the lower part of the screen, so remember that. And let's see what we have. Two thin ones, and a thick one. Okay, let's see how we do. Now we're in at the source of the lights. Let's see what has failed on it. Okay, just plugging my mains cable back into the main the power supply, and I'm going to plug in and see what happens. That's it. Didn't even get a light. So next step then is I'm going to have to check each one of these lights one after another. I'm not going to bore you with the whole length of it because it'll just take too long. Okay, what you really need then is for this is to have a power supply or some kind of even two AA batteries wired in series. That will give you 3 volts. If you want to get 6 volts, wire 4 of them in series. But I have a power supply here, so and I'm going to show you where the issue is with this one. There's only one diode gone in it. I've checked all of the diodes in this, and as you can see, there's one there with the lens off, and I'm going to just show you what I do. I'm going to turn on this power supply. I'm going to start with 3 volts. There's about 3.5 volts, and you get this in the shot. On the PCB you'll see a mark in there, plus and minus, and you'll see 2 little open bare copper parts on the PCB, and you just put down, I'm just putting 3 volts on it, and we're working grand. I go down the whole line, I test them, and so on. And I come to this strip. There should be a lens on there. I am getting nothing. I'm getting no current draw. It's totally open circuit. Let's see, can I get you a closer shot of that? Okay, that's as close as that's going to get. Bare copper, bare copper. Plus to this side, as you can see, the plus there and the minus there. Nothing. Okay. What I am going to do now is I'm going to take this PCB off. It's easy to take off. There is a line of screws that hold all these down, and there's a white sheet of paper, reflector goes across the back of it, and it's all bolted down with lots of very short screws. Okay, let's see what we can do. I have it on my RE7500 and it's being heated through the bottom now at the moment. There's a bottom heater there underneath that. That's a temperature probe there that's connected to the board. and the temperature right now at the moment is 127 degrees. That's just with the bottom heater. Let's put across the top heater now, see what happens. Okay, I normally find a reading of about 168 to 170 is enough to get the leaded solder off, but the unleaded I'll probably have to get up to 220 before it starts moving. I have the board taped down so it doesn't move. It's a bit of a nuisance. I hope the camera doesn't move now when I'm putting my hand in, because it is very close to the actual place I'll be working in. I can't get a better angle on it because if I try to go higher, the upper heater gets in the way. So the only option I have is about where it is now at the moment. $172 degrees. Let's see, is it moving? No, not yet. Let's see, some slight discoloration on the paint. Nothing moving yet. Might get a set of longer tweezers so I don't burn my hand. 182. Still not moving. It's very warm in there. Can't keep your hands in there too long. 194. 195. Struggling to get up the temperature. I may turn down this top heater a bit just for reflow, otherwise I'm going to really discolour the top of it. And there we go. So at about 212 we got that off. I had to resolder this on with an infrared workstation. My hot air gun was not powerful enough to actually melt the solder on this, because on the back of this big ground plane that we have going along the whole strip, it's dispersing the heat too quick for my hot air gun. My infrared RE7500 done the trick. This is not the correct LED for this. This is one out of an LG screen. It is rated at 3 volts. I'm not too sure about the wattage. I don't have any details on it. But we see, can we get it going, and if it stays up and running, happy days. If not, I'm always wary of just changing one of the LEDs, but given the fact that these are so hard to change, I'm not going to spend my time replacing them all. It would definitely be beyond economic repair for that type of work. It's very labour intensive, and as you can see, that's the best I can do with the diode. It's reversed as such, but it's the correct polarity right now at the moment, but the pads are opposite to what they normally are. I have the small pad going to the large surface area on the PCB, and vice versa on the other one. Let's just double check, make sure we have some kind of light. I'm just going to use a diode test on this. A normal diode test from my meter seems to get it lightened just enough to be able to test it, make sure everything is okay. 2 points here. And you see it's flickering there. There's just enough voltage to get it going. Barely, but you can see it's going. What I'll do now is put the lens cover back on, glue it on, with a bit of super glue, and then put it back on and see does it stay lit. There's the lens cover. One lens cover first. All we have to do is get that on now. Probably have to modify a bit for that LED. I'll get back to you as soon as I have it back in the TV and see how it goes. I have the LED backlights back in its housing, and it's all screwed in with the retainer screws. This is the one that is has been replaced. It's a slight bit discoloured, and I can see that the board is behind the lens. The lens looks like it's discoloured, but it's not the lens. It's actually the board at the back discoloured from all the heating. Okay, I'm going to just plug in and see what happens. Okay. I'm just looking at them. There's two of them flicking. We'll get a marker. Put a mark on the side of the light lamp. And there's another one over here flicking. I think I'm going to have to replace both of them, as well as it's a lot of work to get these apart. I don't know if the camera is picking it up or not, if it's picking the flickering or not. I can see it clearly. Okay. What was happening originally in this was it was just starting up, and you might get a brief light out of the lights, and then would shut down. At least now I see another two that has to be done. There's no point in me putting this back together again and having to take it apart again. Unfortunately, it was a lot of work to get all this back in, but not as much as totally disassemble it in a couple of months' time when these two fail. Right, I'll replace them and get back to you. I replaced the LEDs on this, and as you've seen on the footage there was a couple of flickering. I replaced two, but there was still another one that was flickering as well. So that was a total of 5 LEDs I replaced on this LCD TV, and it's been tested now for a day or two, and everything seems okay. I'm going to put this back together, reassemble it. It's the reverse of the disassembly. The only reason I really made this video is to show what's involved in replacing these LEDs. While they're not impossible to do, you wouldn't make much money out of it if you were a business. I hope that helps you. Thanks for watching.